everyone, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you watch this video. Here I and my friends will present our test about simple past tense. Before we start the material, I will introduce my group members. In my group, there are Nilo Gede Pramawati Santi, Ikadek Joniata, Niputu Surani Putri, Rahman Syahrani, Gusti Agung Hari Krishna, Kadek Cahaya Nina Ikansari, which is me, dan Fiora Amelia Saragi. Okay, let's move to the first material. It's about definition of simple past tense and will be explained by Fiora.
Definition of simple past tense. Past tense is the verb from you used to talk about things that happened in the past, or simple past tense is used to talk about things that happen or existed before now. To make you understand, I will use bahasa. Jadi, pengertian dari simple past tense ialah kata kerja yang digunakan untuk membahas hal-hal yang terjadi di masa lalu atau masa lampau. Atau simple past tense itu digunakan untuk membicarakan masa yang telah berlalu. Nah, jadi seperti yang saya sampaikan tadi, simple past tense itu digunakan untuk membahas yang telah berlalu atau masa lampau. Contohnya itu, misalnya kita mau menceritakan masa lalu kita atau menceritakan masa kecil kita dulu. Di situ kita harus menggunakan simple past tense karena kita itu sedang membahas masa yang telah berlalu. Next, my friend will explain about time signal simple past tense. Thank you.
Now I will explain about time signal of simple past tense. Before entering the time signal of simple past tense, I will explain about the definition of time signal. So, time signal is a time indicator that is often used in the sentence. Its function is to provide more or specific information to the listener. Time signal that you can use to compose simple past tense you can see in the following table. More example, like an hour ago, artinya sejam yang lalu, a few minutes ago, beberapa menit yang lalu, in 2001, artinya pada tahun 2001, the day before yesterday, artinya kemarin lusa, a few days ago, beberapa hari yang lalu, dan when I was a kid, artinya ketika aku kecil.
For the example, we have she went to market yesterday. Here, yesterday is the specific time. In negative sentence, she didn't go to market yesterday. In interrogative sentence, did she go to market yesterday? Let's move to the second example. Mansur bought a book at Gramedia. Maybe everyone asks about where the specific time. In the simple past tense, we don't have to put the specific time every time. It be Mansur didn't buy a book at Gramedia in the negative sentence, and in the interrogative sentence, it be did Mansur buy a book at Gramedia?
To form a positive sentence in simple past tense, the formula is subject plus verb to plus object. Next, to form a negative sentence in simple past tense, the formula is subject plus is plus not plus verb 1, or subject plus to be was or were plus not. And to form a question sentence in simple past tense, the formula is did plus subject plus verb 1, or was or were plus subject.
Okay, everybody. Now we're going to move to learn simple past tense of to be, to have, and to do. Let's see the table. Subject, verb, complement. Subject in English They are I, you, he, she, it, we, you, the form is plural, and they. Simple past tense of to be has two forms, was and were. Was is singular and were is plural. Was I, he, she, it, and were you, we, you, the form is plural, and they. The formula subject plus be plus complement. You can choose the complement, object, or adjective, or adverb, etc. Remember, don't use verb anymore. Okay? And we're going to move to simple past tense of to have. First, we must see the note. For the negative and interrogative form of to have in the simple past, always use the auxiliary did. Negative and interrogative. What about the positive? Positive, we use had. Okay? And we are going to move to simple past tense of to do. We use the auxiliary did, all of the subject. And if you want to make a negative sentence, use didn't or did not. Okay? And if you want to more understand, I would like to make a sample for you. For example, simple past tense of to be. Positive. He was in Turkey last year. Negative. He was not in Turkey last year. If you want to more like a native speaker, say he wasn't in Turkey last year. And interrogative sentence, was he in Turkey last year? Gitu ya. Dan selanjutnya, simple past tense of to have. For positive, we did have any money. For negative sentence, we didn't have any money. And for interrogative sentence, did we have any money? Okay. Now, simple past tense of to do. For positive, she did much climbing in Switzerland. For negative, she didn't do much climbing in Switzerland. And for interrogative sentence, did she do much climbing in Switzerland? Okay, good job. Okay, maybe that's all for me. And now you're going to move to the next material. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, now let's we talk about rule for changing a regular verb to past tense verb. So before we begin, this rule will not cover irregular verb because for irregular verb, their past simple form or past tense form is quite different one and the other. The first one is adding ed to a verb. So as you can see, most of the time we only need to add ed to make a regular verb to become their past form. As for example, the verb work become work, and was become was, and look become look. We also add ed if the last letter of the verb ends with an x or a w. For example, is fix become fix, and show become showed. And the other one, if the verb ends with vowel and plus y, for example, like play, their past form become played. The other one is like enjoy become enjoyed. Now the second one, adding d to a verb. So when do we add d to a verb? So if the verb or the last letter of the verb end with an E, so we only need to add a D after it. So as you can see, the example is arrive become arrive, and like become like. The other example is like love become love, and safe become safe, and close become close, and so on. Now the third, adding EID to a verb. So before, we already learned that if the verb ends with vowel plus Y, we need to add ED to it. But now, if the verb ends with consonant plus Y, we need to change the Y to EID. For example, like study become studied, cry become cried, carry become carried, like try become tried, and so on. The fourth or the last one is adding double consonant plus ed. So most of the time, if the verbs end with consonant or vowel and consonant or CVC, we need to double the last consonant and add ed to it. For example, here is stop become stop, and drag become drag. But we will not use this rule for the consonant X and W, because we already learned before that if the verbs end with an X or W, like fix and show, we only need to add ed to it. So those are 4 rules for changing a regular verb to past tense verb. There are maybe some exception for some verb that I did not mention. So I'm sorry for it. But for me, the key is for learning to know the past form of the verb is to encounter it every day. So we will know how to change it. Jadi mungkin ada beberapa verb yang menjadi pengecualian dan tidak menggunakan keempat rule tadi. Tapi menurut saya cara untuk mengetahui bentuk past dari sebuah verb adalah dengan mempelajari dan melihatnya sesering mungkin. Jadi kita bisa terbiasa dengan verb tersebut. So that's all information that I can tell you. And the next information is about voiced and unvoiced pronunciation of past tense verb. Thank you.
Hello everyone, now let's talk about pronunciation. The pronunciation of past tense regular verbs depends not on the spelling, but on the sound of the base form of the verb at the end. I have 3 categories here, as you can see on the screen. If the base form of the verb has a voiced sound, then we pronounce it with a D at the end. This one, D at the end. What does it mean? What is the meaning of voiced sound? It means that when you say it, it has a little bit of vibration. It creates some vibration or movement inside your vocal cords or your throat. And then consonant that to that, voiced consonant. Here I have for the example M, G, M, R, C, and vowels, and so on. There are more. Okay. So when you say these words that end with kind of voiced sound in this base form of the verb, like learn, charge, play, call, love, sing. When you have those sounds, you are going to say them with a D at the end. For the example, learn become learned, learned. I hope you can hear the difference. Charge become charged, play become played, call become called, love become loved, sing become seen, right? And then we move to the next categories. If the last sound of the base form of the verb is unvoiced, unvoiced, then that means that there's no vibration or almost no vibration. Consonant like those, here I have for the example, K, S, P, F, also words that end with a H sound or sound. These are unvoiced. So for this kind of words, we have a P or sound at the end. For the example, here I have cook, become cooked, cooked. Hope become hoped. Miss become missed. Was become washed. Love become loved. Watch become watched. Okay, and then I will explain about the last categories. Now, one category that's easier when the base form of the verb ends with a T or a D sound. T or a D sound. That means a T or D sound. For the example, here I have want. We have the T sound, right? Want. At the end, there are T sound. Or need, need. We have the D sound. On those cases, it's really easy. We just make the ending stronger and we say like a sound. For the example, want, become wanted, needed, invited, decided, started, end. Okay, so those are the basic rules for pronouncing the regular past tense form of verbs. Okay, here I have a slide that can make you easier to remember which one is voiced consonant, which one is unvoiced. You can screenshot this or you can make a notes. Okay, maybe that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, guys, if you already understand the material, let's hone your skill with following our quiz. So the link quiz is available below. Good luck, guys.
If there's something that you cannot understand about our explanation or material, you can write the question on the comment section. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, maybe that's all from my group that listen about simple past tense. Thank you for watching this video. I apologize if there are mistakes. See you guys.